Promise that you'll catch me. Promise that you'll catch me. Promise that you'll catch me.
What up, fam? It's your boy. Time to get down for the Get Downtown to Clown. I told you Castlevania's coming. We did comic books yesterday. We got the anime world kicking off today. Castlevania Nocturne Season 2 on the Get Down for the Clown. But you know what we do? Because I start from me, you, and the crew. Now pull up. Boom. Hey. What it is, what it does, what it do. It's your boy. Time to hang out. Afro Tuck Nation. Geek Town. Let's get down. T3 in effect. Let's do what we do. But you know where we start at first. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. Come talk to your boy. There's always a conversation to be had. And sometimes if you ain't got it, just do it anyway. But you know what we got to go to? Castlevania Nocturne Season 2. Where did this all begin? All right, so if to give you a quick recap, and I mean a quick recap because there's a lot to talk about for this Season 2. We last left off in Season 1 where Drolia, the I guess you want to say the handmaiden, the servant, aka lover of Elizabeth, the queen, the new vampire queen, because Dracula's been dead for about over 200 years now because Alucard had killed his father in the last time we was in Castlevania. For that, I want to say 4th season, beautiful event that went down. So we're at the process of she was grieving because her handmaiden had been killed and she has been down and out because Alucard took her out and she was all sad and not feeling too well. But they did flashbacks for the entire episode. So you kind of see where the handmaiden came from and where Elizabeth got her power from. So, you know, the handmaiden was the servant of an Egyptian goddess, aka vampire. And she was weak and her master is dead and the temple was being raided and she was in the midst of praying in the process, trying to get stronger. And she had been beaten, almost killed by raiders and had come into this place. Another group of vampires vandalizing a Egyptian temple. And in the process, she kills the vampire that raided the temple and wanted to become stronger. So she drank the blood that the people had saved for them to bring about the next generation of, I guess, Egyptian vampires or whatever the case may be. They don't explain fully what goes down with that, but that's here nor there. So she drinks the blood, and if you drink the blood, you have to be worthy or your body will burst into flames. So she drinks the blood, starts to get stronger, and she goes on this quest, thinking that her goddess, that her queen, that the one that brought her to be, wanted her to resurrect her body. And she goes on a long journey to go almost 1,000 years before she found Elizabeth, who was a queen in her own right, but she was so evil, so wicked, so vile that she was on the way to be being beheaded and killed by her people when Drolia, you know what? The handmaiden. All these French weird names, it'll pop up at the bottom of the screen. When she found Elizabeth and she found her and she made her the new embodiment of her queen. So she was drinking the blood over the course of years and years and years until she got to the power point to where she was at now. Now she needed the heart of the Egyptian queen and she needed the soul, but they didn't know they needed the soul. So they had the blood, they had the heart, but they didn't know they needed the soul. So that plays a big factor in this later on. So at this point, they're still looking for the body of her queen who was raided in the temple. Now, also in part of the flashback, Alucard had went back to the Egyptian temple to kill the heart of this particular queen, because after he had already vanquished his father, he was like, we do not need any more vampire overlords taking over the world. Not that Dracula was in the wrong for feeling the way he did. He just went about it the wrong way. But Alucard was also on the hunt for the heart of the flesh of this particular queen, because he knew it was going to be a problem later on. Well, he runs into Richter, the great grandson of Trevor, the ally he had in the first Castlevania storyline, which tells you how far this storyline goes. A Belmont, always a Belmont in the mix of it all. You also had Annetta, who was from Africa, her and her brother. Now, her brother had been changed into a monster. I know, if you have not watched Castlevania, which I'm pretty sure some of y'all haven't, you guys are like, what the world is happening? This is a lot of information, but pay attention. I'm giving it to you fast, I'm giving it to you hard, and I'm giving it to you quick. So her brother had been changed by a monster, by the master, there's a wizard that all vampires take, a beastmaster, as you could say. Then they take them in to make them more monsters. And these monsters are being fused with the body of the dead, with demons from the dark. Yes, a forge master that is out here to make more monsters. Well, her brother had found a forge master, which crazy enough was a Catholic priest who thought he was going to do right by the world by making more monsters to eventually turn against vampires, but he was not doing the Lord's work, even though he convinced himself that he was. But his daughter, Maria, who was supposed to be sacrificed to Elizabeth, you know what I'm saying? And she wasn't, because the mom sacrificed herself to be turned into a vampire, Tara, and it just backfired in his face all the way around. Now, his daughter, being a forged master of her own, learning to control the forces of darkness, and a witch, because her mother was also a witch before becoming a vampire, who was also learning how to forge the things of darkness and of light, depending on your mood, can determine which way you go in the path. Whew, a lot was said on that piece. Well, Richter, being the adopted son of Terra, because his mother was killed by a vampire under Elizabeth's control, and he's always been a little snake in the grass, creeping around, doing his thing, but his mother was on the way to killing him, killing that vampire while he was a child. So he watched this vampire kill his mother, and so he left him alive, knowing that one day this child would grow up to come hunt him down. Well, as we all know and come to find out, that he even does not agree with Elizabeth. Well, in this being, he took on a lover on his own, another, I guess, a soldier, you could say, from the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church has been messing up a lot in this series. I'm not sure if they need to continue on in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's every time we turn around, it's the Catholic Church bringing out the spirits of darkness. Oddly enough, right? So anyway, this particular Roman, this particular Catholic, I guess, guard or soldier or whatnot, is the lover of this particular vampire. And so he's, of course, not feeling himself. He's feeling like he's sinned, which he should. And he's feeling all bad. So he teams up with Maria and trying to protect her, because her mother has now been changed into a vampire. The African priestess, whose brother, who's been turned into a monster, goes into the underworld to find the soul of the Egyptian goddess, because she knows that this Egyptian goddess can stop the darkness in which Elizabeth is trying to bring about, because Dracula no longer lives in this world, which means she is trying to fill in the void. And Alucard, the son of Dracula, the first blade, you know what I'm saying? The first half-born, the first half-breed, is not feeling the situation. He's like, I'm sick and tired of human beings and vampires trying to take over the world. Like, I just want to live in this place all the time I can to enjoy the beauty in which it has. And you numbnuts do not allow me to do that. So now I got to go on a killing spree. And so now the Forge Master brings back the goddess servant from the dead. So he is never brought back already a creature of the dead from the dead back to life, which changes her into a completely different beast, a different monster. She was already a monster. Now she's a monster that can hunt in the day. And so now she's similar to Alucard without the half-breed experience, but with the full-fledged force of the demon world, which takes it to a whole nother level. And the fight ensues and begin between darkness and man. And Alucard has had to team up with two, not just one, but two Belmonts, the great grandson of Trevor and the great great grandson of Trevor. Again, this is 200 years afterward. So these are like bloodlines. You know what I'm saying? This is the bloodline in which it all goes down. And so Maria, who is fighting her own evil darkness because her father is the Forge Master and she is feeling some type of way. And so she hates all things of the dark, but she is becoming slowly closer to the dark. And every time that somebody of the darkness dies, especially of the human faction, the devil shows up to collect their soul. And so in this case, the devil has made a pact, which we find out later with Tara, that her daughter is slowly being made into the dark. She does come to the light for a slow bit, but you can see the darkness is creeping back into her heart. And so they go into this battle with Elizabeth. They go hard and fast. They go long and strong. And the queen of the Egyptian goddess comes back to reclaim her blood and her heart, because the mistress, the servant, was like, well, I thought you wanted to be brought back. I thought I was doing your will. She said, that's what you get for thinking. You know what I'm saying? That's what you get for thinking what I do. That's what you get for, I just want to be in peace in the dead. But you got me out here trying to run the world. You got my heart out there feeding it to this vile creature of a human. Like, it was a whole thing going on. And the battle goes on with fire and ice and magic. Oh my God. It was absolutely phenomenal. How does this end? This ends, of course, with them killing Elizabeth, the Egyptian goddess, gaining her soul and her heart and her blood back and going back into the underworld of the afterlife. It goes with the African witch, I guess you could say, Annetta, coming back, Richter having jungle fever and falling in love with a little chocolate something and bringing them two together to go back to her village to continue the fight, to continue the battle, to stop the evil ones that's out there in the world, because there's still some evil vampires. Trevor teaming up with humans and the other not Trevor. Excuse me, erase that. Alucard teaming up with the humans to go back with the other Belmont, the older Belmont, not Richter, but the great grandson of Trevor, because you gotta remember, you got the great grandson, which is Richter, and then you had the great grandson, which was the Belmont who was drunk and old in the shack that didn't want to do anything, but found out after his wife died that he still had his powers. Woo, this, man, it was so much to unpack, but they set you up for the next movie. You know that Maria is going to become a villain eventually in this, that Richter is going to have to come back and fight his stepsister, his adopted sister. He's going to have to come back and kill his adopted mother, who's made a pact with the devil when you saw her in the forest, standing with the devil in the darkness and watching her daughter as her daughter's darkness grows into her heart. You're watching Alucard watch the little girl becoming the thing that he knows eventually I'm going to have to cut her throat. You know what I'm saying? He sees all of this. I just want to live in this world and nobody won't let me do it. Man, you got to watch it. How many Afro picks? How many Afro picks do you get? You get 4.3 Afro picks. Just by far an amazing, great story. Was it as good as the first 4 episodes of the other one? No, you had some dead spots, some open areas y'all could improve on. But all in all, this was a great anime. It's on Netflix, season 2. Purge it, watch it, 8 episodes, about 32 minutes apiece. You will not, I promise you, will not be bored of non-entertainment. You know what I'm saying? You will enjoy every last moment of it. I'm out of breath. I'm tired. Man, I need to take a nap because that took a lot, but it was fun. All right, fam. So you know, back to the Reading Rainbow, Wonder Woman, Absolute, Book 4. If you know, then you know. But until then, if you see your mans in the streets, hit them with the beats. Hit them with a jingle jangle, baby. Jingle jangle.